In my previous video, I showed you my hospital stay, and from that video, I could already tell people were so eager to hear about my labor and delivery story. So here it is. My name is Mercy, in case you're new here, and my content is about homemaking, raising kids, having fun, all that jazz. And if that's something that resonates with you, please subscribe. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you about my positive labor and delivery. I'm going to tell you why it ended up being an emergency CS despite having booked for an elective CS. I'm going also from the previous video, I've seen people asking more information on where I delivered, which is Maristop. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about whether or not they take NHIF, their charges, their services. So in case that is something you're interested in, please stick here. But before that, give this video a thumbs up because it really does support my channel and it makes me feel really good. So I've been meaning to do this video for such a long time, but let me tell you, it's so hard to do a video or to make a vlog with a baby and a toddler. Today I was supposed to shoot this video at 3. Right now it's at 5. It's when I'm starting. My baby has refused to sleep. He's here looking so adorable. Oh my god, he's looking so cute. But we move. I hope he doesn't cry, Aki. So we move. Now he came on the 15th of December. But this story, I'm going to backdate it a little bit to the 12th. To the 12th, yeah. 13th, sorry, to the 13th. That day, in fact, I have vlogged about it. I was going to make my hair, do pedi, just preparing for baby and just buying the stuff that I had not bought for baby. But when I was at the salon, I started experiencing some contractions or tightenings. And for me, I was like, this is just forced labor, this is just probably the baby stretching, because the scan had said the baby is going to come on the 27th. So in fact, when we had booked the elective CS on the 16th, it was like, we are safe because the scan was saying 27. You see, that's like 11 days earlier. So when I was at the salon, the last thing I was thinking was like, I might be in labor. That was like, no, I was just thinking maybe this is just first contractions. So I did my hair, I did my nails. When we came back home that day, the contractions were still there, and I started getting worried. I'm like, wait, might I be in labor? Because if it's like first contractions, they just come maybe once a day and it's over. But this, I can still feel them since morning when they were making my hair. So I decided to call the hospital. We called and I told them I'm experiencing some contractions and I have already booked for an elective CS on the 16th. What do you advise we do? So they said, come to the hospital, we check you, and then we'll decide the next course of action. And I was like, you know what? Probably it's just forced. Let me wait. If it's true labor, if I'm really in labor, it's going to progress. And when it gets bad, that's when you're going to go to the hospital. Because I have a toddler here, I have another child. It's just too much work to go and then be told, okay, no, this is nothing, this is just forced labor. Go and just come back when you had booked for CS. So I decided not to go. But in fact, when I decided not to go, I just came to bed, I slept, and yeah, that was it. That day, Kaishaivo. Now, on the 14th, again, I was just doing, normal things in the house, cleaning, I don't know, just simple tasks, though, nothing too heavy. I started again experiencing the contractions, and I was like, well, okay, maybe this thing is serious. But it was not like, they were just like tightenings, so I kept on convincing myself it's false labor, it is the baby is stretching. But that day on the 14th, the contractions were actually not as worse as the previous day. So I was just like, let me just take it easy and see how it goes. So the day came and went. Then came the 15th. So 15th, the contractions were still there, but now this time they were actually even more mild. And babe just told me, take it easy, don't do anything. I promised him not to do anything. And as you all know, if you've been watching my video, that is the day yani nesting was at, I don't know what level on the 15th. So I wanted to clean the net, I wanted to clean the duvet. Not I wanted, I did, I cleaned. And then as I was folding the clothes, so all this time I didn't want to go to the hospital and be told to come back, or you're not in labor and just go home. And also something else that was at the back of my mind, there is this specific doctor that we had seen and we booked with. I think his name was Dr. Kinothia. We had seen him, and as we were talking, you can just feel comfortable with someone. He explained to me, like he didn't dismiss my fears. He addressed them. He encouraged me. So I really wanted Dr. Kinothia to be the one performing the CS, because I felt comfortable and safe with him. And I knew he only comes, I think, on Monday and Friday. So the CS we had booked, it was on a Friday. So I didn't want to go and be told, no, you have to do the CS and it will have to be performed by another doctor. So that was something else that was making me to like dismiss that thought of, you're in labor, you need to go to the hospital. Now on 15th, as I was cleaning, and now I had already cleaned, it was around 4, I was now folding the clothes. And I was shooting, by the way, that video is up. So I was shooting while I was folding the clothes, and I wanted to make another video of packing my hospital bag, because now I was to go to the hospital the following day on the 16th. What? As I was shooting, I was just right in this position. I had a loud burst, like boom. At first I was so scared. I was like, like, when is my stomach? Naivety is something else. I had already I had heard about uterine rupture. So when I heard that sound, I was like, oh my god, when my uterus has ruptured. So silly. But like, I had the sound and immediately I started leaking. Then I was like, oh god, my water has broken. And I was so scared, because it was a lot of water. I didn't expect that. With my firstborn, the water was broken by the nurse, and I didn't quite see vizuri, but sikudhani ni maji mingi hivyo yutoka. So it was a lot of water. I was so scared. I was like, oh my god, is my baby safe? I called, babe was working. It was his last day at work, because now the following day it was the D-Day. That's when our baby was to come. So I called him, I told him, babe, my water has broken. He also started panicking a little. I called the hospital now, Marie Stops. I called them and I told them. Then they were like, oh, that's so calm. Just come to the hospital. Let's check what's going on, and then we'll know what to do next. So I was like, oh my god, is it going to be okay? Do they have doctors at night? But then that was also like a huge concern of mine, because at times you find some hospitals the doctor is not available at night. So I was afraid. I just felt like telling that lady, why don't you just call the doctor to come right now? Because now once the water has broken, and the CS was to be performed tomorrow, and right now it's at 4, like, it just has to be done today, and I can already feel the contractions. But that time they were not strong. So anyway, I did the hospital bag haraka, and off we went to the hospital at around 6:30. I was admitted. I told them what was up, and then a nurse came and checked whether it dilated. That was okay. It wasn't that bad, by the way, this time round. I think it wasn't that bad. It wasn't painful. It was just uncomfortable. But that is something that I was not I was not expecting to experience this time. It's just a very vulnerable. It makes you feel so vulnerable. Oh, I hate it. Anyway, she checked, and I had dilated 2 centimeters dilated, and the water was still, leaking. So they decided now we have to call a doctor. And they called the doctor, and they told me by 9 the doctor will be here, and then you'll go to get your baby. And that's what happened. By the way, by 9 the doctor had come. So all along they were like prepping me for surgery. And I would want to give a shout out to like Mary Stopes at this point, because wow, I experienced the best care, especially my nurse. And I feel so bad that I can't remember her name. Na nilimsumbua yani that day, that lady. Oh God, may God bless you. You know yourself, I disturbed her. Yani nilikuwa tunamsumbua because number one, I was scared. Going to theater, it's not it's not that simple. It's not that simple. So of course I was scared, but she kept encouraging me, and she was just the best. The nurse that prepped me into labor, so prepped me for surgery. So by 9 the doctor was around, but there was also another patient, so she was being checked and stuff. And so I think we went to the theater at around 10:30, around there, maybe 10:30. That's when we went into the theater. And now that was now considered an emergency CS, because now we couldn't wait for tomorrow, since I'm already in labor and dilation has already started. So we went into the theater. I was scared, but that nurse encouraged me. In the theater, all the staff was so warm, and I remember my doctor. She was called Dr. Valentine. Shout out to you, Dr. Valentine. She was so kind. Plus the other the doctor in charge of anesthesia, and hiyo jina sijuangi kupronounce, and the other person who was helping them, they were just so warm. But of course I was scared. I remember when it was time to get the spinal injection, I was just like, oh my God, I don't know how to calm down. My whole body was shaking. I think I was just so nervous. But the nurse encouraged me. She kept me busy, by the way. She started asking me questions to distract me, like, what's the name of your baby? What's the gender? I don't know, just questions to distract me. It wasn't painful, by the way. It wasn't painful. The spine, it wasn't painful. And then, yeah, they went ahead to start to do the surgery. So this is my first one right here. So I went, they started performing the surgery. This time round it was different. I experienced nausea, I experienced shaking or shivering, but yeah, they were there encouraging me. I kept thinking maybe I'm not okay, maybe I'm dying, oh my God. But they kept encouraging me, telling me it's normal. Hey, go and take dawa. There was a radio. They were offering to put like my favorite music to calm me down, but for me music never calms me down. So I was just like, no, I don't know, I was just scared. But they did a good job in just encouraging me, making me feel comfortable and safe. So in a very short while my baby was here, and in fact for me I started feeling like dozing. I started feeling so sleepy. I was woken up by the sound of my baby crying. I was so happy. That's the best cry ever. It's the best cry. That nurse came and showed me the baby, and then she left and went to dress him, attend to him, and all that stuff. They stitched me up. And then, yeah, I went to the recovery room. So it was really short. That's not what I expected in my mind. I had planned how I'll take my kids, because my kids to my mom, tell her bye-bye and go for surgery in the morning. I mean, I had all these things planned in my head, but it didn't work out like that. But I thank God because everything went well. I'm so happy for my choice of Mary Stops. It's such a good place to be. The staffs are very, very friendly. I didn't experience any rudeness from anyone. Someone asked me why I chose CS for both of my babies. I didn't choose. The first time my baby, I was to go the normal way. I dilated up to 9 centimeters, but my baby was still so high, and so it couldn't be delivered vaginally. So we had to go for CS, and I had already labored for quite some time, so we had to go for CS. Now this time round, number one, when you have a pre-existing scar, you have a higher chance of going to CS than a normal person. And then number two, I was told probably the reason why the baby didn't engage or he was still up there is maybe because your bones are small, your pelvis is small. And so I was like, if that's the case, it hasn't gotten any bigger this time, so there's no point of like trying. And yeah, I think I also had a bit of trauma from the last time because I labored for so long and still ended up to going to the theater. So that's why this time I was like, you know what, let me just go to the theater direct. But that doesn't mean that if you delivered CS the first time, you automatically have to deliver CS the second time. No. So let me tell you more about Mary Stops. And this video is not even sponsored. I'm just saying because I experienced such a good time there. All the staff was so friendly, starting from like the receptionists, the lab technicians, to the lady serving me food. Oh, those ladies were so sweet, by the way, both of them. They were so nice. I experienced such a good time, and I love the fact that it's affordable. To most people, it is really affordable. They do take NHIF, by the way. NHIF actually covered delivery, which is like the theater fee, because it was CS, doctors follow-up, medication, nursing care, etc. Like up to 43k. That was so amazing because for most hospitals that I was looking, they were just covering the bed. So for NHIF to cover like 43k, that is so superb. So the only thing you actually pay is you pay the doctor's fee, which is about, we pay 10k. You pay for a pediatrician 3k, an admission fee, and also the drugs that you're going to be taking as you go home. So for me, we also paid for the room because I was in a private room, but it was also affordable. It was 2,500 per day. So I think that's really fair. That's really fair. And so if you're out there looking for a hospital that takes NHIF, you can consider that one. It's a good hospital. For me, I think the only thing that I'd say for them to improve is the food. The food was really, really basic. If you want to know what I'm talking about, please check my previous video of the hospital stay. The food is really, really basic. I think they can do better, but other than that, the service is cleanliness, so good, so clean. I didn't experience rudeness from anyone. They're just really, really friendly. In fact, they keep calling for follow-up, like a surprise. They called me at like after a week to ask me how I'm doing and stuff. When we were hitting 6 weeks, they called me to ask me how we are and if you're remembering to go for the clinics. It's just the best care that I've experienced so far, and they're really, really affordable. So I'd 100% recommend them. So thank you so much, Mary Stops. And yeah, that's how it all went. Now we are happy. My baby is almost 2 months. I can't believe it. Where is time going? Oh my god. So we are okay. We are my wound has healed very well. I'm going to be doing follow-up videos, just telling you how it's been, the recovery and stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around. I'm going to be making more of those videos of baby recovering from CS, postpartum and stuff. Yeah, so that's how it was. Thank you so much for watching. Let me see you on my next video. Bye.